was playing in an important blitz tournament in Menorca, Spain, and in this round, round number 4, I was playing against Jasper Pay, a kid who was 12 or 13 years old, born 2013, and I thought that my tournament is going so badly that things cannot go worse. But this game was going to be an absolute roller coaster, and things were absolutely about to go worse. So, before the game, we were chatting, and he was very, very nice. He said that he was a fan, and he was so excited to play me, and I thought, oh, this is so fun. We were kind of matching with these blue sweaters. I was cleaning my glasses because my glasses are absolutely always dirty. I don't know if I'm the only person that has that issue, but I never clean my glasses, so they're always foggy. And I thought, okay, let's just try to win this game and let's go on. But I was a little bit scared. I'm not going to lie. I feel like you can see that on my face right here. But anyways, we were waiting a little bit, and then the arbiter said to shake hands, and we shook hands, and he started the clock. So I went d4 and he went knight f6. It was time to put on my glasses because this was going to be a very important game. He played d5, I took and he took. And then here I brought out my bishop, pinning his knight. He went c6, defending the pawn. I went e3. He brought out his bishop, and I brought out mine. And he went h6 here. So this is all very normal. This is all the queen's gambit declined exchange variation. And now I felt like at least it's an opening that I feel very comfortable with. It's not anything crazy, chaotic, tactical. He brought out his knight, and now I went knight f3, with the idea being that perhaps at some point I will be bringing up my knight to e5. So he played rook e8, and I decided to castle. I finally fulfilled my whole development, and he quickly went queen c7. Now this is the sort of move that just felt a little bit off. I went bishop g3 because I thought that here my bishop would be better. And now after he went bishop d6, I played a move that looked fancy, which I didn't really know if it was the right move, but it just looked so fancy and so good that I thought I have to try to play it. So I spent like a little bit of time thinking about it here. And he was drinking his Coke. Which I'm pretty thirsty right now. It looks pretty good. And I decided, okay, Anna, let's go for this little tactical idea that you have. Let's play this move knight b5. It just felt like it had to be the right move when I could. And the point is that if he takes, I'll be able to take the queen and then get his bishop. So I'll be trading my knight for his bishop, and he will get a bit of a weaker pawn, I thought, on b5. So I thought that this had to be relatively good. His pawn on d5 also becomes a bit weaker. He went a6, defending this pawn. And now I thought that I don't have my queens anymore, so maybe an endgame will be more difficult. But I thought about this IM that completely outplayed me in an endgame. And I thought, okay, I'm playing against a kid who's rated less than me. He had like 1700 rating, I think, in blitz. So I thought, okay, let me try to positionally play very well and get a great endgame against them. But like I said, things were about to really not be so easy. So far everything is under control. My knight was in the center. I had a great position. All my pieces were well placed, and I thought that this would be a great endgame. Now also my knight was on the very best square it could possibly be in, so I was feeling very relaxed and very good, and I had a minute and 50 seconds left, which is quite a lot of time in blitz. He spent a little bit of time thinking here, and he went bishop e6. He brought out his bishop, and that's a very natural square to put it at. He's played really great so far, I think. I went f4 here because I wanted to maybe play f5 and attack him a little bit. It just felt like the kind of move that is nice to do to get a bit more space, especially because now if he moves his knight back to d7, I will be able to go f5 and trap his bishop, I thought. So I was also just trying to make moves very quickly to get myself to play faster. So finally, I had the same time as him right now, pretty much. And so I thought that this was feeling very safe. He was going to make a move, but he decided not to. And instead, he spent a little bit of time thinking, how was he going to improve his position? How was he going to outmaneuver me and get into a better endgame? His time was ticking. He only had 1 minute and 20 seconds left. He spent some time thinking here. This was a crucial moment, and he ended up going g6. And now I thought that it's time for me to find a plan. I quickly played bishop d6 because I wanted to get my bishop out and I wanted to find this square c7 for my rook, but he quickly played rook c8, which was a great move, stopping my rook from entering the board. And now I wasn't really sure of how to continue either. Everything was very safe for him, and he'd played in a very just practical, I think, and solid way. So I was trying to come up with some plan here, and I couldn't really figure out what my plan was going to be. So I really spent here some time thinking, and after now, I was trying to calculate how it is to take his knight on f8. I decided to go h3 because I thought maybe I want to go g4 and start playing against his king. But he then found this nice move, bishop f5, which was a move that I actually had completely missed. And I didn't really know now because I thought, okay, if I take his bishop, he's going to get a fantastic square for his knight. But if I don't take his bishop, he will also get a fantastic square for his knight. So what do? I thought. I ended up taking on f5, but now I realized that my position was definitely not as good. And the position right now is completely around equal. He's played such a fantastic game. So I had to now think about something. I was getting really nervous here. I'm not showing it outwardly, but I was getting really nervous because I saw that he was going to get a fantastic knight. And I just thought, how am I going to compete against this knight? Because he's going to be able to go f6 and kick away my knight. And then he's going to be the one with a good piece. And I'm just going to have a bad piece, I thought. So I didn't quite like that. But I was hoping that the time trouble would make things better. He went knight g6. And I realized that I should definitely not take that knight, I thought. And so I instead decided to go b3. But I actually think I should have moved my knight instead here. But I went b3 simply because I wanted to prevent him from going rook c4. That was a move that I was a bit worried about him doing. So he traded the knights, and now he was playing with a fantastic knight versus my kind of bad bishop. And my minor piece was never going to become as good as his. So I was getting nervous now. His king started going up, and he was about to go on a run with his king. I went rook f1, threatening his pawn. That was the only thing I had, I thought, to play against his pawn. He protected it. I went g4 because I was starting to get desperate, and I thought I need to open up for my rook. But the big problem was his knight. His knight was just so good. So he took, and I took, and he was here completely outplaying me. You can see the eval bar just slowly and slowly going further into his favor. I was not happy right now at all. And f6, it's a fantastic move too, to eliminate my central pawn. And I realized, okay, did I kind of underestimate him? Like, my position is really not that good, and I have no idea how I'm going to win this. So we traded off pawns. In here, I decided to trade rooks as well, but he now had a completely open file for the rook. I was really worried he was just going to go rook c2, which he did, and then I went a3 to defend the pawn. He went rook b2, threatening my pawn on b3, and I went bishop up to attack his knight. He spent a little bit of time here, and then he ended up moving his knight to h7. I started attacking his pawn. He took. I went king f2 because I didn't want to lose my pawn on a3. And now he blundered the rook, which was such a big moment because I was just really not in a winning position. But he blundered the rook in one move, and then he resigned. And I was telling him that he had played so well and that I was completely lost and that he should be so happy with this game because I was genuinely like in such a bad position. He was just going to grab all my queenside pawns, and he was really happy because he just said that he played such a great game, and I agreed with him. And his dad came up and he was now telling him that he was winning, and He was so excited, and honestly, it made me happy to see him happy as well. But I'm not gonna lie, I was also happy that I won the game because this tournament was not going well for me so far, and every point mattered. But things were going to get even more exciting in this tournament. So let me know if you want to see more rounds from how this went because every game had its own story. Also, please subscribe.